And welcome back into Crosstalk on this edition of the program. It's Small Business Monday, and we're joined, as we are quite a bit on Small Business Monday, by Laurie Jones from the SBDC. Laurie, thank you for taking time to be on the show today.
Great, thank you. How are you doing today?
It's a wonderful opportunity to learn and grow as a business person. That's what we try and do on Small Business Mondays. And that's what the SBDC does, not only helping businesses like we've talked about, but also educating businesses. And there are a ton of educational opportunities that the SBDC provides for all of the businesses to take advantage of.
You know, that's a great point, because as an existing business person, or again, if you're thinking about starting a new business and maybe you're not even in the business arena right now, one of the questions that a lot of people ask is, how in the world do I know what I need to know or keep up to date in my industry?
It is a difficult thing to do, and as we've talked about before, business people, and especially business owners, from the farmers out here in Northeast Colorado to the people that are starting their own business to people that have been in business for years, don't have time to drive on up to Denver and be a part of these seminars.
You know, and that has always been a struggle for us out here on the Eastern Plains, which is I can't take a whole day out of my day to go down to some 2-hour event in Denver. And so we're trying to address that. One of the great things that we did last year at our SBDC is we got some software that is allowing us to, if we do put on a seminar, let's say it's in Greeley or let's say it's over in Yuma. Well, how does somebody from, say, Sterling get that if they don't want to drive over there? So we can broadcast this live over the internet. The quality is fantastic, and what we have is a chat window.
Right.
And I can tell you, we had one on a Facebook session from a speaker that was up in the Front Range about 2 weeks ago, and I typed in, we actually met at the CSU Engagement Center, which was wonderful. They were a great host for us, and we had it on the big screen, but I typed in questions from the group sitting there, and the speaker suddenly turns, faces the camera, and says, okay, all of you out there in Sterling, here is the questions I just heard, and directly answers the questions right in the middle of the presentation.
And that is so important to be able to have access to all these, because there are so many different new things within businesses. Of course, there's all the rules and regulations, and that's one big thing that the webinars that you've got on your SBDC site are capable of providing. Is legal is constantly changing.
Well, and I'd like to just kind of, again, highlight some of the things. In the past, it was a little harder to reach the information, but what we've done is we actually have what's called an event library on our website, and through that event library, you are able to, at any time of the day or night, providing our systems haven't crashed, you're able to watch a webinar at your own time. You can watch it for 10 minutes. You can watch it for the hour. You can start and stop it. You can come back to it. And again, let me kind of highlight what a couple of them are.
Absolutely.
So the 2 sessions we held in Sterling, a great introduction to Facebook for business owners. Why should you do it? Why is it important in your marketing? That one lays a wonderful foundation. That one is accessible, and it's called Facebook 1.0, or Cutting Costs and Increasing Revenue Using Digital Tools. So that one's available. The one I just spoke about was a couple weeks ago. It is now posted in our event library. It's called Facebook 2, and it goes into more detail, more specifics. So if you're really interested in Facebook, that focuses solely on Facebook. Another great session that we have done that's available is the power of email marketing.
Yes. And this is something that many business owners, especially those that have been in business for a longer time, maybe want to utilize but don't know how to utilize. Even those of us that are in media maybe don't know how to effectively utilize email marketing.
And again, it is a tool. It's a tool using the wonderful technology we have that can increase your customer base. As an example on something like that, if you're in a business where you're doing face-to-face contact, selling people products, how do you even measure your customer service?
Mm-hmm.
It's not by people just coming back on a regular basis.
Right.
It could be something where you have their email address. You could send them the survey. You could follow up with something directly back to them. And again, there is a lot of different things that are going to help your business with customer service on that particular one. Coming into something else that's important, the art of selling.
Yes.
Ben, you're a sales guy.
Absolutely. It is an art, but at the same time, it is different for every single person. And this is such a wonderful thing to take a look at, because everybody sells. Maybe I've said this on air before, but we all sell something.
That's right.
And it's just realizing that we're all salespeople inside, and especially if you're in the business world, sales is how you make your living, period.
And having effective sales, having the right people do sales, it is taking your marketing strategy and it is executing the tasks, and it's just knowing how to do it better. It is a wonderful webinar. We actually put this on about once a year live in different places. So again, I really encourage people that are a little nervous about, well, I'm not a salesperson. I think you need to take a look at this one. I'll tell you, back now on regulatory. This next one I'm going to tell you about made my hair stand up. And
yes.
You know my hair lays flat, Ben.
Yes.
So, employee versus contractor.
Yes, absolutely. You and I have gone through this one several times because, a lot of people, when you look at defining what an employee is and what a contractor is, don't understand the difference.
That's right.
And there are huge legal ramifications for not understanding the difference.
And what's important about this is those of you listening that are in the state of Colorado, not only is the IRS, but the state of Colorado is clamping down on businesses using people as independent contractors, but in reality, they are really performing the work as an employee.
Right.
And because of budget issues, and if a business is not paying payroll taxes and they're using 1099s, there are literally hundreds of investigators out looking at small businesses. And when I say my hair was on fire, this is a wonderfully informational session put on by a law expert who deals in employee law. And after you hear it, and you will see in this video, people who were in the classroom with the speaker, they were just, all of a sudden, the questions are coming up, and she is addressing them. And what I'm saying is it woke a lot of people up to, ooh, how do I handle this? What do I do about this? Is this a good way to do that?
It is so important to have these, and all of these webinars are available for you to take in whenever you have time on the SBDC website. Here on Small Business Mondays on Crosstalk, are there any others we have not touched on?
Two more.
Perfect.
Two more. One of them is legal liabilities of doing business on the internet. Oh my goodness, it's not as easy as just slapping up a website or using Facebook to sell your product anymore.
Absolutely. It is a difficult challenge, and there are some serious legal ramifications if you don't do it right. And every business who utilizes the internet should understand this, and every business who isn't using the internet should understand the legal ramifications, because then you can see if it's worth your time to get onto the internet.
That's right. And I will tell you then, the very last one is, this actually incorporates personal with business. It's called Key Life Decisions. And Key Life Decisions deals with the importance of exit strategies for you as a business owner. It is looking at insurance decisions. It's looking at, on the personal side, do I have a will? people that have own their own business, you can actually purchase insurance. If something happens to you, it's called key man insurance.
Yes.
So this covers all the important things that business owners and key business people within an organization need to be aware of.
Absolutely. So much important information there, but also another form of education for business people is utilizing your local resources.
Oh, yes.
We've got NJC here in Sterling. We have Morgan Community College in Fort Morgan. MCC has outlets down in Yuma and Burlington. UNC's not that far away. And all of these places have online places you can do your education.
Well, and then let's even here in, in Sterling, the CSU Engagement Center brings in speakers. So pay attention to all of those. The Chamber of Commerce hosts different sessions and speakers. The Workforce Development Centers host different things. So there is a calendar that is kept at the Chamber on when they're aware of all these things. You can look at the community calendar, and there is wonderful educational things. Short Excel classes, 2 or 3 sessions on QuickBooks, learning some different pieces of technology. NJC, again, Morgan Community College is great about that.
It is, and it's wonderful ways to further your education, which is what this is all about through the SBDC. And don't be afraid to ask. If you have something you need to be taught about, go to one of these entities and say, hey, what do you have that'll help me learn this? And if they say, well, we don't, many of them will be willing to say, but we'll get something.
And here in Logan County, another thing that's great is Logan County Economic Development Corporation puts on industry roundtables. And I think the last one that I attended, which had a huge attendance, was about the oil and gas industry.
Right.
They planned for about 30 people. I think 60 people showed up. And one of the questions is, well, the industry that I'm in, how do I know what's going on? How do I know how it affects me locally? So the Logan County Economic Development Group is putting these on periodically, and again, they've done some wonderful things about the industry in particular. So that becomes another thing. How do I stay up to date on my industry, my regulations? The county says this, the federal says this, the state says that. You can talk to me a little bit and we can help you get started, but equally I encourage people to seek out industry newsletters, trade organizations, and an awful lot of webinars, once again, are coming through those organizations to make sure that their members are up to date on everything that affects their business from a regulatory and a legal standpoint.
Because it's so hard to hit every single one of those websites and read it because it changes daily. And anybody who thinks that you can go to a website and keep up with it as yourself, just by yourself as a business person, has never run their own business because it is impossible to do.
And then let me briefly mention, in November, we are going to host what we call a Business in Action series at Northeastern Junior College. It is an all-day event. This one will have a very small fee associated with it because we will provide food, but we are going to do 3 tracks, one in finance, one in the marketing area, and then legal and human resources will be the third. And we will also have a keynote speaker. So it'll be a wonderful opportunity to network with people. And again, that will be in November, and we just want to mention it now because we're in the planning stage. So if anyone has thoughts on some things they want to hear about, now's the time to reach us.
Now is the time to do that. We've talked a lot about the website today, and I think that's the most powerful tool that the SBDC has. It's NEECCO, SBDC.org.
And again, if you can't remember that, just type in SBDC Colorado, and that will bring you to all the websites in Colorado related to SBDC, and then you can see resources, events, and just wonderful information to help you out. So browsing our website, too, is just another great set of resources.
And from that website, you can contact Laurie directly, or you can just tune in next Monday for another edition of Small Business Development Monday. Laurie, thank you.
You bet.